Hello, Professor. This is my video tutorial number 3 about brainwriting. This video is composed by 4 main points. First, I'm going to talk about brainwriting and a definition and some features about it. Then I'm going to give you some reasons for employing brainwriting in classroom. Then I'm going to present my activity based on brainwriting. And finally, the bibliography. Brainwriting is a particular form brainstorming through the medium of graphics. In particular, it is classified under the intuitive and progressive methodologies as it involves driving inspiration from other members in a periodic way. The grounding of such technique is the belief that the success of an idea generation process is determined by the degree of contribution and integration to each other's suggestions, and specifically, it is meant to overcome the possible creativity barriers brought up by issues such as interpersonal conflicts, different cultural backgrounds, and reasons of intellectual properties. Brainwriting gives students time to write thoughts and ideas down, and when teacher comes to talk through their ideas, there is often a richer selection to explore than if teacher had used brainstorming alone. Brainwriting allows students to write down their ideas, giving everyone an equal opportunity to participate. Ideas are not likely to be lost in future discussions that students can carry out because they are already written down. Because it runs quietly, participants can concentrate better, which leads to a greater flow of their ideas. It also helps participants if previous brainstorming sessions have been monopolized by one or two dominant members of the group. And finally, it provides a very strong task orientation that some groups may need to keep them focused. Well, first, it is fundamental to ensure that all participants share a deep background knowledge on the topic of brainwriting session, since even a single not well informed individual can significantly impact in the quality of the output. First, the activity is going to start through a picture of the topic. In this case, let's talk about how human beings' activities have impact in the environment. The picture could be something like this. So, in this way, students can come up with first impressions, points of view, and through this identify the main issue or the problem they are going to study. Before, of course, the brainwriting activity. So after this, students will get together in groups of 6, and they will receive a handout. Each group will receive a handout, and in this handout, each member of each group will have to write 3 main ideas of how they can solve this issue of the environment issue, or some ideas of how they can try to save the planet. So this method is known because it has a number like 6 and 3 and 5 brainwriting. So these numbers represent first number 6, that is means that the number of the students in the groups are 6, and 3 is because students have to write 3 main ideas of the topic that they are learning, and finally 5, it's because students have to write those ideas in 5 minutes. After that, students write their ideas and hand the handout to the classmate that who is in the right, and that classmate passes the handout on to the person who is in his or her right, and the same procedure is carried out until each member of each group has written their 3 ideas. And then they will observe as a group the handout, and if there is any idea that is repeated, they will have to delete it. They will have to delete this idea, and they will finally observe the ideas, what their classmates wrote. They will have a discussion. They will share their impressions, their points of view, why they think about, if they agree or disagree regarding the ideas their classmates wrote. After that, with the as the most important ideas they consider will be in the handout, they will create a mind map with all of these ideas. The title, of course, will be focused on the topic, and in this case, the environment, how to save the planet. And that is the main point. First, they can start mentioning one idea and why they would use that idea to save the planet. They can mention water pollution, air pollution, and then start to writing the ideas they consider are the most important. After they create the mind map, of course, each group has to create its own mind map. They will go to the board and present their works in front of their classmate. Then they will receive peer feedback. They can mention positive feedback, things they like and things they don't like about their classmates' works. And finally, students will practice another writing technique that is called free writing. In this part, they can write anything they want about the class, of course, what they learned, what they would like to learn about the environment, or how the pollution affects people's lives, and how to prevent, how to create ideas to save the planet, and so on. The idea is they start writing without stopping, and if they make mistakes, it doesn't matter. Now it's time to present the steps to carry out the brainwriting method itself. So first, I consider that it's important to decide who is going to be the moderator. It can be a student of course, or a teacher. This moderator must be in charge of observing how students are working, and if they effectively accomplish the times, they work as they should work, they respect the turns and those tasks. And secondly, decide on the length and number of rounds. It's also important to have an organization in the session. And number 3, once students finish the brainwriting, they can also exchange worksheets to observe if the similarities and differences in the ideas of the other classmates.
and they can have good impressions, or they can say, oh, we wrote similar ideas. So that I think it's something important that students can discover through this exchange of work. Then, of course, repeat the process round by round, as I mentioned in the step by step of the activity. And next, discuss all the ideas. As I said before, it's important to know what students know about the ideas, if they had something difficult to do or something like that. And finally, ask students their impressions regarding the activity itself, what they can improve, or what teacher can improve for future in this activity. Maybe is there is something that can be changed, something that can be improved for future students. And this is the list of references I used to support my video tutorial.